Hi, and welcome to our training video on Mostly's prompting and man training. We're here to work with Ellison Preschool on teaching manding through Mostly's prompting. And here's our training video. We're starting with a quote. I can remember the frustration of not being able to talk. I knew what I wanted to say, but I could not get the words out, so I would just scream. Temple Grandin. To introduce our topic, Mostly's prompting is a strategy that uses cues to teach the development of new skills. The cues begin with the largest amount of support, physical guidance for the student, and gradually descend to lower amounts of support until the student is able to perform the new skill independently without support. This strategy can be used in many settings and is effective for new skills for both children and adults with ranging skill sets. Mostly's prompting will be used in Ellison Preschool to teach children to mand, which means communicate needs or desires, through verbal communication, signing, or the use of the PECS, which is the Picture Exchange Communication System.
You may be wondering, what is a mand? Manding is a form of functional communication providing an appropriate way for the students to communicate a desire. The student has a motivation, so they have a response. Their response can be communicating what they want, or it can be inappropriate, maybe crying or whining or arguing. So a man would teach them to use an appropriate version of asking for what they want and then receiving what they want as the reinforcement in the end. Ellison Preschool currently is experiencing altercations between students during their playtime. So teaching students to mand via a Mostly's prompting method can actually incorporate their current communication methods, whether it's vocal, PECS, or sign language, and teach them to use them to correctly communicate with their peers with an appropriate form.
So in implementing Mostly's prompting, the first thing you need to do is give the cue. So you could say, what do you need? Then immediately after you give the cue, you're going to provide the prompt. At different levels, you're going to give different kinds of prompts. So for full physical, you'll give hand-over-hand guidance. For PECS or sign. For partial physical, you'll guide the student's elbow. For verbal, you will say the name of the word or the icon or the sign. And for gestural or model, you will point to the icon for PECS or model the sign. And then after you've given the cue and the child has completed the response you want, then you'll provide the item that they requested. So the target mands that we're looking at for this training are the words ball, car, doll, block, and animal. Here are the PECS icons that we'll be using for those words. And here are the signs that we'll be using for those words. So this slide will show you how to prompt for both PECS and sign language using full physical prompts. So this one is for PECS.
What do you want?
And this one is for sign.
What do you want? Ball.
This slide shows partial physical prompting. This one is for PECS.
What do you want?
And this one is for sign.
We'll come back to that.
Okay, this slide shows gestural prompting. This one's for verbal.
We'll come back to that one.
And this one is for PECS.
What do you want? Doll.
Here's some modeling videos. This first one for verbal is a partial model. And this one is for sign language.
What do you want? Ball? Good job.
And here's independent responding for all 3 levels.
What do you want? Doll. What do you want? What do you want?
So here's a little overview of our school-wide implementation. To start us off, it is a proactive instead of a reactive strategy to handle
We're out of
problems.
time.
Oh, really?
6 minutes.
Okay. Hold on. Let me stop sharing this. Hold on. Stop broadcasting.